I love the fact that we have a president that was really wealthy when he came in, and he keeps doing business with his family.
So
there's nothing wrong with it.
So hold on, you would have been fine with the so-called Biden crime family if Biden had just been transparent. If Hunter Biden had just been transparent
let me
about
give
what
you
he
a
was doing.
perfect example.
Answer the question.
You literally brought up Don Jr. and the guns.
No.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You picked the perfect time to hit play because this one is a real showdown. Today we're dropping in on a heated cable news panel where Bakari Sellers and Abby Phillip go head to head with Ben Ferguson over one enormous question. Is a sitting president turning the White House into a family cash machine? Bakari lays out a corruption case, Abby brings the receipts on suspiciously timed market moves, and Ben pushes back hard with the "it's just good business" defense. Sparks fly almost immediately. Stick around all the way through because the numbers they reveal near the end genuinely made my jaw drop, and you do not want to miss where this argument finally lands. Before we get rolling, I would love to know where you're tuning in from today, so drop your city or country down in the comments, and let's see how far this community really reaches. All right, let's get into it.
Just as this is all happening and Trump is making those comments, we also get another piece of evidence that the Trump family has extraordinary luck, let's call it that way, in the market. Plan to ease rules on mailing guns could help company that Trump Jr. has a stake in. President Trump's eldest son is a key player in Grab a Gun, a company that hopes to dominate internet firearms sales. They'll dominate it because the president looks like he is about to ease regulations on that. Don Jr. has a stake in the company. He is on the board. So, yeah, I mean, the Trump piece of it is actually just kind of a drop in the bucket compared to what his sons are probably doing.
No, I think back to 2020, and Donald Trump coined, and many Republicans coined, Biden, the Biden crime family, because of Hunter Biden. What we're seeing right now is grifting on steroids. And I want my Republican friends to just think about Barack Obama shoes, Barack Obama fragrances, Barack Obama Bibles, Barack Obama watches. Imagine Barack Obama making a meme coin, Michelle Obama having a meme coin, and then rug pulling it and making billions of dollars off of their investors. I find it hypocritical. I find it, if we go back in history, we made Jimmy Carter put his peanut farm in a blind trust. And now you have this president. And I don't really feel bad for anybody. I kind of giggle a little bit because he's making money blindly off the back of his supporters who apparently don't care, which is fascinating to me.
But also not care, but I also think that this is a tale as old as time. I mean, this starts out, remember when Grant was accused of his whiskey sales, and we had LBJ, we had Clinton, we had Biden, obviously. But the thing is what I think's different, and I've said this from the beginning, is the sons especially are doing this wide open.
Yes.
So the criticism of Biden's son as Hunter, yes, was that he did it in secret.
I give you all credit because look, they're not breaking the glass.
Transparency is not a justification.
They are still out the front door.
It doesn't mean
just because
are we accusing the president of doing anything illegal? No, we're not. He's really good at making money and has been for a long time.
Hypothetically, if you rob a bank and you don't have a mask on, it doesn't make robbing a bank.
Is he broken a law? That's the part. Like, he's not broken a law.
I'm saying.
He's been successful before he became president.
Doing something that is unethical out in the open.
What is
does
unethical?
Not necessarily mean that it's right.
And I listen to what you said. Like, I think it's awesome when people in America succeed. I love the fact that we have a president that was really wealthy when he came in. And he keeps doing business with his family.
So
there's nothing wrong with it.
So hold on, you would have been fine with the so-called Biden crime family if Biden had just been transparent. If Hunter Biden had just been transparent
let me give
about
you
what
a perfect example.
Answer the question.
You literally brought up Don Jr. and the guns.
No. Let me ask you.
I'm answering the
let
question.
me ask you. If Hunter Biden had just been transparent, if he had just said, you know what I'm doing? I'm using my dad's name to make money. You would have said, totally above board. We're fine with
If he was doing actual businesses, Burisma was massive corruption. He didn't know anything about the industry. Don Jr. and guns, a great example. I hung out with Don Jr. at the SHOT Show 20 years ago in Vegas. He's been involved in guns for 20 plus years.
What do the Trump sons know about mining rare earth minerals? What do the Trump sons know about robotics? What do they know about drones?
A lot, clearly. They made a lot of money off of it.
This is the part that should make everyone stop scrolling, because what Bakari lays out here is not some conspiracy theory, it is a pattern sitting right out in the open, and he nails it when he calls it grifting on steroids, and you have to understand why that phrase matters so much. For years, the same crowd built an entire brand around the idea that a certain other family was the corrupt one, that the son cashing in on the family name was the ultimate scandal. Bakari flips that script instantly, and it lands. Here is the part that blows my mind. Bakari brings up how we once made a former peanut farmer president put his farm into a blind trust just to avoid the appearance of a conflict. That is a real historical standard this country used to hold. A blind trust means you literally cannot see or touch your own business while you hold power. That was normal. That was expected. And now, that standard has quietly vanished, and nobody on the other side seems to even blink. Then Ben jumps in with the defense, and honestly, it tells you everything. Ben says this: "I love the fact that we have a president that is really wealthy, but he keeps doing business. There's nothing wrong." And you can feel the wheels coming off right there, because Bakari immediately corners him on the double standard. He points out that Burisma was labeled massive corruption, that the son supposedly knew nothing about the industry. So the question writes itself: why was that disqualifying then, but selling sneakers and fragrances and rug pulling a coin is just good business now? That is not a talking point. That is a trap, and Ben walked right into it.
They actually invest in it. Let me ask you this. Have you ever looked in your retirement account and what do you know about cryptocurrency? What do you know about rare earth minerals? I'm invested in all those things.
Respectfully,
I'm invested in all those things. And by the way, made good money while Trump was in office.
Let me give you you ask what
a lot of Americans.
You ask what did he do? You ask what did he do that was unethical or illegal?
Nothing.
And I wanted to answer that just plain and simply. Because I don't know, I take hot yoga. I feel like you're doing a little yoga too for that pretzel that you got yourself in.
Dude, I love that people make money and they do it because they invest.
But listen,
and they
I just
have
want
a lot of money. That's awesome.
In quarter one of 2026, Donald Trump has executed 3,500 trades. You want to know what's unethical about that?
Almost as many as Nancy Pelosi.
I'm glad you brought her up because it's not. It's nowhere near.
Nancy Pelosi,
but can I finish real quick?
What she's made is way
can I finish real quick? Because you asked. Can I ask? Can I answer your question?
No, it's not. But
and it's not.
Nancy Pelosi has.
But
they made an app to follow her trades because she's so good at it.
Ben, come here.
She's literally better than Wall Street at it.
Just a second. Objectively, the amount of money is not the same. Okay.
Percentage-wise, based on her salary.
We don't need to fight about that. It's just not the same amount of money.
Nancy Pelosi was making how much a year and how many millions is she now worth?
Okay, but
that's insider trading. Donald Trump walks in with $1 billion and turns it into $2 billion, and you guys are freaking out. $1 billion is a lot to start with. Like a lot.
Ben, to utilize
like a lot of money.
Ben, to utilize your phrase, the president makes $400,000 a year,
and he gives it back.
This quarter, he's made over $1 billion, 1.2, 1.4 billion on crypto alone.
That's amazing.
What I want to tell you that's unethical is the fact that when you make 3,500 trades in 1 year, and you go up and you invest in a company, and then you sit in the Oval Office and you tell people, wow, this company is great. This company is going to do X, Y, Z. Or you ease regulations on this company and you trade and purchase stock in that company. That fundamentally is unethical. You can call it what you want.
So should we then go after Nancy Pelosi with the same vigor that you just went after the president? Because she does it for years.
The Wall Street Journal has a news story tonight as well. Look, because this stuff is coming fast and furious. And as you know, Jonathan Swan, who wrote a book about this, said we're scratching the surface of this. The Journal says, in a series of trades on April 3rd and 4th, the days after Trump announced global tariffs in the Rose Garden, his investment accounts bought and sold hundreds of individual stocks, according to financial disclosures. The strategy shifted on April 8th, when his accounts only purchased 327 individual stocks, spending more than $3.6 million to scoop up Apple, Berkshire Hathaway, and other blue chip stocks. No selling that day. Trump posted on social media the next morning, it was a great day to buy. And then he paused much of his tariff regimen that afternoon. Markets then took off. And guess what? He made a lot of money, okay? So just lots of coincidences.
And the political bubble.
Lots of coincidences that nobody believes is a coincidence because the president has the power to control with his words what markets are doing. He has the power to influence government contracts, which some of these companies have gotten. He has the power to influence foreign affairs, which also affects some of the business deals that his kids are doing. That's what's part of the problem here.
And here is where Abby completely takes control of the segment. Because the moment somebody tries the tired both sides deflection, she does not chase it. She goes straight for the mechanism. Abby asks what the Sons actually know about robotics, about rare earth mining, and then delivers the line that hangs in the air. Clearly, they made a lot of money off of that. That is surgical. She is not accusing anyone of a crime. She is asking a question nobody on the other side can answer without squirming. This is the part people need to sit with. Bakari draws the actual ethical line, and it is airtight. He says this: you ease regulations on this company, and you trade and purchase stock in that company. That fundamentally is unethical. Let me break down why that matters. This is not about being rich. Nobody is mad that a person has money. The problem is the sequence. Power first, then the trade, then the reward. When you control the rules and you bet on the outcome, that is not investing. That is a rigged table. And then Abby brings the receipts, which is what turns this from opinion into evidence. She points out the president posted online that it was a great day to buy, and then paused the tariffs that same afternoon, and the market took off. Think about the order of those events. The signal went out, then the policy moved, then the money rolled in. Here is what people don't realize. Abby closes it perfectly when she says, nobody believes it is a coincidence, because the president has the power to control markets with his words. That is the whole ballgame. One person, one platform, the ability to move billions with a single post. That is not luck, that is leverage.
Yeah, and I just don't think it helps Republicans as a whole as they're going into the midterms, because at the same time that he's doing this with the crypto, and he called it a scam a couple years ago, I guess now he understands it and he's like good on crypto, but he hasn't signed the housing bill. Like, there are real conversations about affordability that are happening. And I think there are a lot of Republicans who would like some help in their districts and their states in pushing forward that message. And it's very hard to sell affordability when the president is reported to call the housing bill a huge yawn. And at the same time, he's raking in this money. Does he want to help the party as a whole?
This is the part that really is
family?
amazing. I remember sitting on a show and you guys were saying that Donald Trump was a fraud and he really probably wasn't worth $1 billion. He was lying about his wealth. Yes, exactly. And now you guys are pissed off that he's worth billions of dollars, admitting that he made a lot of money. It's like the definition of hypocrisy.
No,
it's like Donald Trump's not really rich. No. Damn it, now he's too rich. Like, which one is it?
Hold on, Ben. Hold on a second, Ben. I don't think
it is.
Funny. Do you know what hypocrisy really means?
When you say that Donald Trump's not rich and you say he's lying when he's running, and then he actually is rich and then he makes more money, and now you're mad about it? Like, that's hypocrisy.
Here's what we're really talking about here. We're talking about Trump in 2024. Bringing in $600 million from his businesses. And the very next year, the only thing that's changed is he suddenly is president. And that jumps to $2.2 billion. That's not being a good businessman. That's not playing the market. Those are games that no one is getting.
But a lot of people that went into crypto, a lot of people that are liberal, you can go to Soros's. They've made a lot of money off crypto.
I just want to be really clear about what we're talking about when we say crypto. You heard in the clip, President Trump claimed that he didn't know anything about it. That we know is not true, because the reason he made much of the money on crypto is because just a few days before the election, the inauguration, he started advertising these crypto meme tokens. Yes. That is where he is getting the crypto money from. He personally did that. Yep. So he knows where he got that money from.
Not where he's getting a lot of the money.
No. That was $600 million. I
know, but the real wealth is from the World Liberty.
That is the biggest, the largest chunk of this is the $600 million from the sales of the transaction sales of the meme coin. So he did make a lot of money.
By the way, here's my question though:
he did make a lot of money from the world.
Or did he commit a crime? He didn't commit a crime. It's just jealousy. People are jealous that he made a lot of money.
Can I answer, Ben? So nobody is. It's not jealousy.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna make one complete sentence, and you're not going to real quick. So it's not jealousy. What we're talking about is, and it's not hypocrisy. What we're saying, though, is that Donald Trump is corrupt and Donald Trump is a grifter. And the way that he made his money, for example, I want to talk to you about the Trump meme coin. There were 1 million wallets that have experienced net losses of $4.5 billion. It was a rug and pull. Like, that is what it was. The Melania meme coin. If you invested $10,000 in the Melania meme coin at its height, you now have 90 cents. So it's not a genius move.
Oh, this ending. This is the mask fully off. And I need you to really hear the number Abby drops. She points out that the family businesses pulled in about $600 million. And the very next year, with the only change being that he became president, that number leaps to $2.2 billion. Sit with that. You have to understand what that gap represents. Nothing about the business genius changed overnight. No new invention, no brilliant strategy. The one and only new variable was proximity to power. When the only thing that moved was the office, and the money multiplied almost 4 times over, that is not a success story. That is a receipt. And then Abby catches the dishonesty at the source. She reminds everyone that the claim of not knowing anything about crypto simply is not true, because he personally started advertising the meme tokens just days before taking office. This is the part that gets me. You cannot claim ignorance about the very thing you were promoting to millions of people with your own name on it. That is not a gray area. But here is where Bakari lands the knockout, and it is devastating precisely because it is about real people. He says this: there were 1 million wallets that experienced net losses of $4.5 billion. Then he brings it all the way home with the detail that if you put $10,000 into the Melania coin at its peak, you now have 90 cents. 90 cents. Let me make this real for you. Behind every one of those wallets is a person, a fan, a supporter who trusted the name and got wiped out. That is what a rug pull actually means. The people at the top cash out billions, while the loyal ones holding the bag are left with pocket change. And that is the whole story in one number. The believers lost everything. The insiders got rich, and they did it in broad daylight while telling everyone it was just good business. It never was. So what do you guys think of this? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.